I'm going to be answering all your questions in regards to a nose job in Turkey, giving you my honest opinion and kind of giving you a rundown of what happens. And this isn't to influence people to go and get plastic surgery done, because I'm not doing that. It is just to give you a real honest account of the do's, the don'ts, the pros, the cons, so that you can make well-informed choices about your body and what you would like to do. What company did you go with? So I went with Maya Medical in Istanbul. It is the same place that done me Tatars, and they were fantastic. I had looked at loads of other companies, same as when I got my boobs done, but I went back to Maya because I already have a relationship with them, with the nurses, the people that work on their team, and I really value and trust their opinions, and kind of I trust their judgment as well, which I think is something that you really need. And because I'd done so well with them with my boobs, I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to stick with them. They were fantastic. I know that Turkey does get a bad rep because there are so many options. It's kind of like getting your lips done in the UK. There's so many options of places you can go to, but the word of mouth reviews were fantastic, and obviously my reviews from when I got my boobs done was really good, so I went back with them. How much was the surgery? Now, I will always be open and honest with you guys. I got a deal for it, and that wasn't them enticing me with a deal. It wasn't them basically saying, oh, we'll do it for cheap for you if you advertise for us. It wasn't like that at all. I actually approached the situation because after my breast augmentation, because a lot of you did trust my opinion and trusted what I said, you chose to go with Maya as well, and because they generated quite a bit of interest from that, I kind of put the branch out and said, would you be up for possibly doing a bit of a discounted rate to kind of work together, because you've done so well last time, and they were really good about that. They were like, do you know what, fair enough, we appreciate all the work, the help that you've given us, so we kind of went like that. I believe full price it's around £3 to £4 but don't hold me on that. I think that's kind of the average of what it is in Turkey, but that does include your hotel stay for a week. And with Maya, you get put in the DoubleTree by Hilton, which is a stunning hotel. Honestly, it's stunning. It's got Starbucks, restaurant, spa, the lot. It's really, really good. But if you want complete transparency, I think I paid around 1.6 for mine. Why did you get a nose job? So it's actually a funny story, and I won't go into too much detail because obviously there's other people involved. But in the summer last year, got into a bit of scrap on holiday. I say scrap, I got fucking battered. And I got chinned and it fractured my nose and it deviated the bottom. So the bottom of my nose was really wonky, and over time it started to cause kind of breathing issues. So that was the main reason why I wanted to go and get a nose job done. When I was there, after speaking to the surgeon, he kind of explained that my whole nose was kind of skew with, and that was kind of causing the breathing issues. So in the end, I was like, do you know what? Fuck it, just do the lot. Just do the lot. I'm here, why not? Viva la Viv and all of that. So I was like, fuck it, just do it. So that was why. And I'll put a picture before and after up there of like the underneath of my nose before and after, because the difference is incredible. And even after, like, my breathing is so much better already. Oh God, it's so much better. Was you worried about any complications, and what was the pain like after surgery? In terms of worried about complications, no. And I think that's just because I've had quite a lot of surgeries, cosmetic and non-cosmetic. Like, I was quite poorly when I was younger, so I had quite a few surgeries. Surgery doesn't really bother me. It's not something that does, like, I don't go in there like shitting my pants. Obviously complications can happen with anything, absolutely anything. Like, you can get complications from an appendectomy, from having anything done. Remember, wisdom tooth removed, you can have complications with anything. So it wasn't really anything that bothered me. The pain, literally no pain. Like, the tiniest little bruise in the corner of my eye, didn't really get any swelling. Apart from between here is the only place I've had swelling. That's why I kind of look like Avatar for a few days. No bruising, no swelling. No pain. If anything, it feels like you've got a really bad head cold. You know, when you've got like the pressure in your ears and you can't go to get the pressure out, and you have to breathe out your mouth because you've got chicken fillets up your nose. So you get like a bit of a dry throat. But actual pain itself, no, none. The only time I did have pain, again, being open and honest, is after surgery when you have the cannula in your hand and they were pushing antibiotics, painkillers, all of that through my cannula. That was, and I won't even sugarcoat it, that was excruciating. And I've never cried from pain before, and I was in tears, it hurt that much. And then we found out that the cannula was in the wrong place and that it wasn't in properly. So then it was like I couldn't move my hand, I couldn't move my arm, and I was like, ah, it really hurts. But then they literally moved the cannula and I was fine, absolutely fine. Are you happy with the result? Were you concerned that it wouldn't turn out how you envisioned? Yes, I'm happy with the result. But again, I'll be honest, when they took the bandages off, when I take the cast off and that a week after your surgery, I literally was like, looked at the side and I was like, oh my God, I look like Michael Jackson. I was like, oh. And obviously then I lolly down the phone going, hee hee, down the phone. I was very overwhelmed. I was really overwhelmed. And it wasn't until I kind of watched some TikToks on it, like that is normal, because I've been so used to the way my face looked for 23 years that obviously they've taken the cast off and my nose is like pulled all the way up, it's small. But obviously, same as what I'd say to my clients with nose filler, you've really got to lift the tip. Like, you've really got to fucking lift it, because when gravity kind of takes its course, this, that and the other, over the next few weeks and months, the tip will drop. And it has started to already. It's started to drop already. So that's one thing to bear in mind. When they take your cast off, that's not how your nose looks. It's not at all. It's kind of like when you get your lips done. They're swollen, they're bruised. It's not how they look. So you need to just kind of bear with, trust the process, and it will get better. And take it from me, I've been home for 2-3 days and it's already looking better. So if you're gonna heed anything, heed that. What's the aftercare like? How long to go back to work? So realistically, they say take a few weeks off work, but I came back to work after 6-7 days and I was fine. Like, when I was at work yesterday, don't get me wrong, I don't have like a really active job. I'm in a clinic, but I felt a little bit tired, but nothing major. Could I have done with maybe a day or two extra off work? Yeah, probably, but being self-employed, like, you got to work. Do you know what I mean? Aftercare, you have to wash your nostrils. For the first week when you're in Turkey, you have to flush your nostrils 3 to 5 times a day. And that's like, have you ever seen the videos of people squeeze the bottle and it like comes out the nose? You've got to do that. You've got to put like a decongestion up there. You've got to clean it with a cotton bud, which, by the way, you'll be using cotton buds for weeks and weeks and weeks, because they have to take the hair out your nose. It just comes out like a stream, and you can't stuff tissues up there because you've got a bit of scarring and a bit of like healing there. Cotton buds, be your best mate. You also have to wear tape on your nose. I need to tape up the rest of it in a minute. 24 hours a day for 2 months. They don't tell you that when you first book in, so just bear that in mind. You have to wear that. And also you have to wear a nostril retainer, which I really need to clean that one. I need to sterilise that and stick it back in my nose in a minute. You have to wear that as well, 24 hours a day for 2 months. Now, that is a little bit difficult, I won't lie, and you just got to be really good with it. You have to, because it helps hold your nostrils out and stops them from collapsing. So I'm going to sterilise that in a minute and shove it back up my schnoz, and it looks like 2 penny pasta tubes, and it goes whoop, all the way up there. Are they able to fix a wide nose? Yes, they've done that with mine. Risk of breathing after surgery, I presume there is some. If I'm honest, I didn't really look. Did it feel scary at any point? No, not at all. What does the scarring look like? That's what mine looks like at the minute. It's doing really well. What would be your advice for people wanting a nose job and looking abroad? Okay, so I would say be well educated. Don't just book anything on a whim. And that is the same with anything, whether you're getting your lips done, you're getting Botox done, you're getting any sort of surgery done. Do not book it on a whim. And one thing I always say, even to my clients, is there are 3 main things that you should be looking out for. Are you doing it for the right reasons? Are you well informed in making that decision? And are you putting yourself in any sort of financial debt or struggle doing it? If any of those 3 things drops, do not do it. Do not do it. Don't put yourself in any debt. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Don't be doing it because you want to look like someone in a magazine. And just be smart about it. Be savvy. Don't put yourself in any sort of danger. Don't go somewhere because it's cheaper, because a lot of the time cheaper doesn't mean better. Just be very well educated, be well informed. And to be fair, that's the whole purpose of this, is just make sure you're doing your research before you go, and you're doing it for the right reasons, and you're being smart. Just be smart with your body. I personally say that going to Turkey, the standard of care is a lot better than the UK. I mean, I've had some surgeries in the UK and the standard of care hasn't been amazing. And that's not on the NHS, I mean private in the UK, because we don't actually NHS here. The standard in Turkey, impeccable. Cannot fault it. The hotels they put you in, the transfers, everything's so smooth, so nice. I mean, at Maya, it was fantastic. I think the nurses are very considerate, they're very caring. When you're at the hotel after, the nurses come and look after you at the hotel. I mean, my nurse Hava, fantastic. She took me out for a blow dry, took me for a coffee, went to the shops with me. Incredible. But in my opinion, is it worth doing? Yeah, absolutely worth doing. But just make sure you're being smart, you're being safe. And I will link Maya below just in case anyone does want to have a look. But again, this isn't me influencing anyone to go and get surgery done. It's just giving you a really honest account so that you can make your own well-informed decisions.